hour, those protests that broke out more than a week ago still going strong in Anaheim tonight. This is video of it at its worst earlier this past week. Now this evening we have live team coverage for you with KTLA's Doug Culp covering a vigil that's being held for one of the police shooting victims. In fact, the one that sparked the riots.
And then nearby Sarah Welch is live at the Anaheim police station where protests have been happening all afternoon. And that's where we're going to begin our coverage tonight with Sarah. Sarah?
Rick and Mary Beth, if you look over my shoulder and then over to the intersection here, you can see a few dozen protesters remain from the 200 or so that took part in the afternoon protest. Police tell us 2 people were arrested this afternoon. Many of the protesters today, we're told, came from outside Anaheim, many from the Occupy movement. And those who live here and are directly impacted by these officer-involved shootings tell us they're happy to see the support, but only if it's done peacefully.
Back on the sidewalk.
Tensions flaring again. This man arrested during the protest that began peacefully outside Anaheim police headquarters and then escalated as demonstrators took to the streets marching toward Disneyland. Mounted police pushed protesters out of the road. The crowd outraged over the recent back-to-back deaths of Joel Acevedo and Manuel Diaz.
What you're seeing here is a culmination of years of frustration.
We just want to make our voices heard with no violence.
But not everyone is on board with that. Violence earlier this week put Anaheim on high alert. 24 arrests, store windows broken, nerves shattered. Churches and businesses boarded buildings, fearful of what might happen next.
I don't want revenge. I want accountability. That's what I want.
Teresa Smith has protested here every Sunday since she lost her son in an officer-involved shooting in 2009.
And I'm not going to allow anybody to come in here and damage what I have been trying so hard to do for the last 3 years. I'm not going to let it happen. They can get angry, I don't care. But you haven't been out here. I've been out here. We want to do this peacefully.
Smith and other families of those killed urged calm and called on protesters to seek productive changes to bridge the gap between law enforcement and the community, not violence.
We have a lot of ideas that we just want to be listened to because we don't ever want this to happen to another family.
And you can see right now the mounted police are here at this intersection in front of the police station. Several of those protesters have surrounded some of the other media outlets as they're doing their live reports right now. Again, trying to maintain the peace here. We're told 2 people have been arrested so far. The city still on high alert tonight as these protests continue. Mary Beth and Rick, back to you.
All right, Sarah, we appreciate that report. Protesters and mourners are said to be holding yet another vigil tonight for Manuel Diaz, the 25-year-old who was shot and killed by police back on July 21st. Doug Culp joining us live now from St. Anthony's Church in Anaheim with more on that. Hello, Doug.
Well, good evening, Rick. And, I spoke to a church security guard, and he tells me that they didn't authorize this vigil, and therefore they don't want anybody on the property. Now, of course, that will be up to police to enforce, but if we take a look around here, you can see several people. This is for the regular scheduled mass here at St. Anthony's. But according to protesters at Anaheim PD this afternoon and various tweets, we are expecting demonstrators to show up here at St. Anthony's Church in support of Manuel Diaz. He's the 25-year-old who was shot and killed by police while evading arrest on July 21st. It was Diaz's death along with 21-year-old Joel Acevedo, who was killed a day later also by police, that sparked outrage in this Orange County community. Tuesday night, as we take a look at video here, that outrage turned to violence as police fired beanbag rounds, rubber bullets to disperse the crowds. In the end, 24 protesters were arrested, 20 buildings damaged, and about 7 injured. Now this weekend, more planned protests, yesterday outside Disney, and today outside Anaheim PD, and also a silent protest outside City Hall. Now as we come back out live, we'll be following this movement all evening. KTLA has crews all around Orange County should the movement end up here at St. Anthony's Church, around the corner at the scene of the incident, or back at Anaheim PD where dozens of protesters are still gathered. We, of course, will be on top of it. For now, we'll send it back to the desk.
All right, Doug, thank you for that report.